Good morning, class. This is my attempt to try and keep us somewhat up to date with all the absences that I've had. I do want to take time to just do more than just have you watch the play online. I do want to just talk through some of the key points, um, and that requires me to go back a little bit. So I'm going to start by playing in the background the track, the song All I've Ever Known. One of the questions that we needed to answer was in this song, Orpheus and Eurydice are further characterized, but also about their personalities and the way in which each views the world. Do we learn? Point to the specific evidence in their words and what others, specifically Hermes, says in this scene. You know, ideally you copied all of these notes and it should all be pretty obvious, but once again, Hermes is continues to emphasize the fact that Orpheus is more naive and he looks for the beautiful in the world. He's more optimistic, whereas uh, Eurydice has just kind of like actually experienced the world and found it to be quite harsh. And the song "All I've Ever Known" is emphasizes that all she's ever known is how to hold her own, which is to look out for herself, to protect herself, and that has unfortunately caused her to keep everyone at a distance. And it has affected enough of her life that she makes future decisions based on that particular experience, and it's why she'll eventually accept the bait from Hades in not too long from now in the overall play. I will play this song now, periodically stopping, and then move on to Way Down Hadestown and just talk through a few of the other tracks, and hopefully this helps your understanding of the play a little bit.
And Eurydice was a young girl, but she'd seen how the world was. When she fell in spite of herself, in love with Orpheus. I was alone so long, I didn't even know that I was lonely. Out in the cold so long, I didn't even know that I was cold. Turn my collar to the wind. This is how it's always been. All I've ever known is how to hold my own. All I've ever known is how to hold my own. But now I wanna hold you too.
Just want to take a moment here to point out that just the power of these words, right? I was alone so long, I didn't even know that I was lonely. Out in the cold so long, I didn't even know that I was cold. Again, the emphasis there is that, like, if you've only lived your life a particular way, then you don't understand that that isn't normal. You just expect that the way you've lived your life has been normal. And when something comes along that changes it, you finally realize that things could be better, and that what you simply accepted as existence doesn't have to be quite as miserable. So, in the simplicity of these words is just this very powerful understanding of a person who has been so broken that she doesn't know what it is to be happy, and Orpheus has infiltrated that darkness in her life.
You take me in your arms and suddenly there's sunlight all around me. Everything bright and warm and shining like it never did before. For a moment I forget
Just a couple of things about that scene that I've made note of in the notes. You know, I don't even know you yet, and I know you're someone I've. All I know is that you're someone I've always known. Right. This is the idea that uh, that their souls already kind of like had been together in some other life in some other way, but like now their bodies have actually met, and that's this completely different experience, right? It's like the souls meet through the physicality of their physical presence, and that's what kind of like brings them together, right? So it's the idea of like you love with your soul, not with the eyes, and now they just happen to have met one another. The little section there where they're dancing with one another is quite beautiful. It's supposed to be like this little mating um, scene between them. It's very soft and gentle. Notice the hues of the scene have gone blue. Everything is quite calm. But then the scene ends in a way that like it's really beautiful, but at the same time, like we as an audience know through dramatic irony that all of their words are verbally ironic. We know through dramatic irony that he will let her go. He'll let her go more than once. He'll let her go when she first goes down to the underworld, then he'll make the mistake of kind of like letting her go by turning around when he tries to bring her back from the underworld. So this whole scene is it's really beautiful, but it's also really really sad and dark because we know what's going to happen. And again, you know, Eurydice points to the say that the wind won't change on us, say that we'll stay with each other, and it'll always be like this. Yeah, like you can make that promise, but it's a promise that they're not going to be able to keep, and especially because we know that the winds of fate are um, they are immutable. Whatever they have decided already is going to happen, and that these two are fated not to have a very long relationship with one another. In the next track, in Way Down Hadestown, Hermes and Persephone tell us a great deal about Hadestown and its workers. What do we learn about the underworld? And what does Persephone say she needs to pass the time? Each of these videos can only be about 15 minutes before this gets cut off. So I'll just point to the fact that, notice how much Persephone talks about wine, for example, to morphine in a tin, and just how winter is the worst time for her because obviously that's the moment when she has to go underground and be with Hades. And then the very last part of the scene is also really important because the film doesn't capture this, and I even feel like the audience didn't really fully pick up on the significance of the moment. But like Hades makes this connection with Persephone. Hades makes this connection with Eurydice at the end of this section when she says, "Kind of makes you wonder how it feels." And then Hades pulls down his glasses and he makes this contact with her that becomes the kind of like the initial connection between the two that he'll then use to lure her into the underworld. So I'll be scrubbing through this scene a little bit more, but like it's something you should pay attention to. but those who go, they don't come back. If that doesn't foreshadow the later events for those who are unfamiliar with the story, I don't know what does. Hades is such a tedious place for her that she says that she's going to need morphine or drugs and wine to kind of like numb the pain and time of having to be down there in the underworld with Hades. That's Eurydice off to the side saying that. Notice Eurydice's interest in the descent into the underworld.